This past weekend, I was at the National Hip Hop Political Convention. I'm one of the founders. We started in 2003. And I was blessed to be with someone I've considered a comrade for a long time, George Martinez. But because I'm a pretty honest person, about 6 months ago, me and George had a debate online. And the interesting thing is that people think you can't debate issues and still be comrades. But that's what makes us better. It what makes me be challenged, and it what makes me want to listen to someone like a George Martinez. I've known George probably over 12 years. We go all the way back to Albany when I was a student and George was up there working, and then later I would become a New York State Assembly staff person. So I understand the Democrat, the Republicans, particularly I understand the New York State system of government, which is why I never wanted to run as a Democrat or a Republican, not that I would. And I remember the last time I saw George until recently was at a party in Albany. It was like some swanky thing. And we were just building and politicking. And George also told me he had his PhD in political science. You got it, right? Only 0.5% of Latino people in this country get a PhD in political science. So George Martinez is not only a gem, he's a rarity that knows how to merge grassroots organizing, but really be a political scientist and what that means. So with that, I want to bring up George, and right after I want to bring up DJ Chella. I don't want to interrupt the flow. DJ Chella I probably met through M1, somewhere in North Carolina. She's one of the illest DJs, just like Cotton Candy or many of our other activist DJs. She's been on the front line the last 5 years. She has an amazing mixtape called High Treason that really dealt with the issue of Katrina. And if you listen to her CD, there are voices of people who were affected not only by the hurricane, but by the levee breach. And because I reached out to my hip hop community and my family, 10 days after Hurricane Katrina, I was able to go down. And I was the only hip hop journalist on the ground. And it was a surreal experience. It was also a devastating moment to see that 10 days after the levee breach, there were black body parts floating all over New Orleans. And that's when I saw Jeremy Scahill, who was beginning to write and investigate Blackwater. So I say all of this to particularly show a connection within us as a hip hop generation. I always tell Jeremy, I consider you hip hop. You grew up in Brooklyn. You went to every KRS-One concert in the world. You are hip hop. And that the reason he was able to put forth what Blackwater was doing was not only because of his research, but because the people were demanding that, right? So we're all, this like interconnection is very important, because so many forces would have us believe that black, white, gay, straight, anarchist, Christian, whatever would not be in the same room. But only in the Green Party do you get white, black, Latino, Asian, indigenous, old, young, homeless, not. That's what the Green Party is about.